There is one undeniable truth about most Souls-likes that you have out there, and that is that magic is always busted. And I'm happy to say that we're now in here making what we love to make the most out of video games, and that's character buildings. There's also one thing that I love about Wuchang Fallen Feathers, and that is that you can start building a mage character right from the get-go, and that is what we're going to be making today, because having mage characters is very busted in this game, as well as you will be able to see on the gameplay that I have for you right in here. So when it comes to exploration, you basically have an unlimited amount of resource that allows you to attack from a safe distance. Whenever you fight 10 bosses, you're also, you see, that's the thing about Souls-likes and magic. The danger in Souls-likes is having to be on the face of the enemy to attack. Magic allows you to deal massive and tremendous amounts of damage while also being on a safe distance away from the enemy. In here, we're also going to be taking advantage of the blink farming. Not that you need to, like, if you really want to cheese the game as much as you can possibly do, you're going to be able to use this build to just run around and fight whatever that you're fighting, whether it's a mini boss, whether it's a boss, or anything that you're fighting. Just wait until you get your resources back because of how we have built high character right in here, and you can keep spamming your spells from a very safe distance. And yeah, it's also pretty fun because at the end of the day you can replenish your actual spell usages. Some of the later spells that you are going to find whenever you kill some of the later bosses in the first areas of the game, they are going to require for you to use a little bit more of resource, but that's what we're going to be talking right now. First and foremost, the weapon that you are going to be needing is going to be the Dark Frost Edge. This is a long sword that you're going to find on the first area of the game, like quite literally on the first 2 hours of the game. If you have been playing the game for quite a while, you should already have this weapon. It is going to be on the first settlement, enemy settlement that you are going to encounter in the game. And this is what's going to unlock the skill tree that we are going to require to increase our attack damage. And that is basically, like, quite literally, this is everything that you need. You do not need anything else outside from this sword. Now once remember that this is an early build, so we don't have that much stuff to use with our tempering, so on and so forth. However, I'm guessing that that is going to increase our DPS that much more whenever you actually do get more stuff. What's interesting for us right now, it's going to be on the Mercury, the repository right in here. And there's a couple of things that you are going to need. First and foremost, you are going to need the mana capacity, because this is going to increase your mana charges, your charges for your mana. However, I advise that as soon as you get one more Forgotten Remembrance, you should also get one more mana capacity, because this is going to be like the living blood of our build. However, on the early stages of the game, you're only going to have one Forgotten Remembrance, and with that Forgotten Remembrance, this is the first thing that you need. Second, we're going to enter into the swords stuff. So the very first thing that you are going to have, it's this, the biding time, which essentially the usage of swords is going to allow you to regenerate your mana or your feathers, aka your mana, faster. Usually the gist of everything when it comes to the rest of the weapons do not increase your mana or your feathers just by dealing damage or by using them. This is the only one that does. For the rest of the weapons, let's say for example that you're using the spear right in here. For you to gain feathers, you need to do a perfect dodge. A perfect dodge is going to allow you to gain one feather so that you can use one of the skills for your weapon. With the sword, attacks, many, like, there's a whole much more actions that are going to enable for you to gain feathers over time. Attacking is one of them, but that's not all. Like, that's going to accelerate the process, but in reality you are going to be gaining your feathers just by standing. Like for example, it will take quite a while right in here, but you will see that I have my feathers. I have used them for that spell right in here, and then we're going to wait for quite a while, because just by standing here you will see that in a brief moment, my feathers, there you go, I got another one, meaning that, well, exploration, this is very useful because I can be gaining my feathers without having to actually risk myself to be on the face of the enemy. Now that said, the only thing that I need right now is to increase my damage. Spells have a different type of scaling, and with the swords you have two possible routes that you can take right in here. First, on the first early stages, you can get 6 points levels into magic, so there's one here and then there's another one in here. If you were to be using feather spells, you would go instead into this route, which I believe that I actually do have one feather spell that I'm not using because I very much like, there you go, the Echo of Wuchang. It requires 3 feathers, so I don't really like this that much, at least not for the early stages of the game and not for exploration, because I don't want to be spending like 3 feathers into one single enemy while doing exploration. The Vorpal Blade. This is going to require, this is going to cause lots and lots of damage to single target enemies. That's not the correct one. This is going to deal tremendous amounts of damage to basic enemies, and then you can finish them up with your sword, or you can just be waiting a little bit, like I said, to regenerate and get them. You can also increase the damage in here, focusing right now instead of the feathering on the early stages of the game because of how everything is set up and how the spells you get. That is the first spell that you are going to get. But if we go down in here into the Ascending Wrath, the Ascending Wrath is going to unlock a new page into the skill tree, which is going to increase our stats that we get right in here. So you can actually get this into different levels. So I do have a couple more stuff right in here, but many of these guys you can actually level them up. So for example, if I were to take 1 point from in here, I can spend another one in here, and this would also increase my magic by 1 point. This ideally is what you want to get, because this is going to give you 5 points into magic. This is also going to give you 5 points into magic, but later on you can also, like here, this is 3 points into magic. So this is going to ultimately increase the damage of your spells. However, I do want to keep this one right in here as it is, and then as I level up, I'm going to be placing 3 more points right in here, 3 more points right in here, 3 more points right in here, and 3 more points right in here. And that is what we are going to do to build our early build mage. Like I said, well, exploration, this is very effective and very powerful, because more often than not, you are going to be running around. While you're running around, if you're doing like your exploration, you're searching the corners and things like that. Usually this spell is going to one-shot, as you can see right in here in the gameplay footage that I have for you right here. It's going to one-shot. If not, it's going to require 2 casts of the spell for it to kill one of the basic enemies that you have out there. And you can, by all means, without actually having to engage with the enemy, from a very safe distance, because this has a huge, and I mean a huge amount of range, you can be exploring without actually having to worry that much about your surroundings, because you are not required for you to fight the enemies, for you to gain those feathers back, because of how we have built a character. We have 3 feathers, and we can be using them at our leisure to explore the game worlds. I don't have any gameplay footage for boss fights, but one thing is that if you know how to fight a boss fight, is actually easier right now, because your windows of opportunity, sometimes when a boss fight is too far away from you, they're not going to come towards you until you attack, and by the time you attack, you already have time enough to dodge, which is going to replenish your feathers. But if the boss is not attacking, or if you have a summon that is fighting the boss for you as well, you can just run around like if you want to, like, this could cheese a lot of people are not going to like this, because a lot of people they don't like when you play the game like easily with powerful things like in here. They want for you to play the game like they want for you to play them. But anyways, if you really enjoy Magic, this is a very powerful build that it's going to trivialize the game, because Magic is always flashy. That's one of the things that I like about Magic as well, is that it's very flashy. It's very flashy, it's busted, it's amazing, I love it, and you can start building it from the right get-go of the game. If you like the content, so like and it was super appreciated. Don't you that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person. You're indeed a gorgeous and beautiful person. Subscribe to the channel. You're in Discord. Have a beautiful day and goodbye.